Hey there, chart friends. Lamont here from ChartGas, checking in on the electric vehicle sector and a couple of those battery names. I did it. One shot. All right, so starting off with Tesla, we obviously had a negative or bearish earnings reaction, and we were just watching for this key support to hold. We're just watching this range, right? The range, as this is, it's all about this range right now, right? So we did get a close over the lowest close here, which was 803.62. So I mean, really, we're just dealing with more sideways action now. Looking at the volume profile, I wouldn't be surprised, right, if we were to fill out a little bit here, but it's entirely possible as well that we fill out up here. Like, for all we know, this is just the beginnings of a structure that, oh my goodness, that that will look like this, the volume profile, right? So I don't know, like, you don't want to just assume that that will fill, very very cleanly, but we just trade whatever's in front of us. And so, the zone of interest that we were watching today did offer really great trade. So hopefully somebody out there was able to benefit from it. But yeah, it just pretty much pinged it, right? We had this confluence of indicators. We knew that this was a close that was significant. We knew that the 21 EMA was coming up here, I believe. Oops. I think we were being mindful of this. I can't remember if we were being mindful of the standard deviation trend line here, but whatever the case may be, it worked out okay. And of course, it was also hourly oversold, right? Yes, hourly oversold, and it should have been hourly oversold even without. Yes. Okay. So nice little trade. If you have taken it, hopefully you've taken profit by now, so you can manage the rest of your position a little bit easier. So going into tomorrow, this is enough bounce that the bulls will be scouting an hourly higher low, with anything over 801 being one. So I guess 800 psychological help. Anything over 801 being one, bulls will have to defend 801 and break to higher highs over 848 in order to see some daily bounce follow through and have bears scouting to the upper end of this range, right? It's really 900 psychological pretty much is the resistance area, zone of resistance, so I should say. Okay, so top fishing plays are in effect up here, particularly if we can get hourly overbought conditions. Otherwise, bottom fishing plays, right? Whenever we're range bound, it's just not we, but it is easier to play the range whenever we're range bound. All right. The earnings were, not bad, by the way. They were good. I don't know. I'm no fundamental analyst, but no GME, I guess. Okay, so NIO, we were doing the same thing. We were being mindful. Well, this was the old thingy from back there, but now, yeah, same thing, right? We were watching this range and the potential to short off of this center area as well. So same thing, daily range, bear break with very minimal follow through is definitely a good look for the bulls. And I think there was a price target raise from whatever, one of those institutions, whatever. So yeah, we were looking down here for potential longs, bottom fishing longs, and we were looking here for potential shorts. And so of course that is exactly where it pulled back, right? Price has memory, right? Everybody who thought that price should be marked up here was proven wrong, and then they were confirmed to be wrong here when they failed to take price higher, and sellers take it back down. And so now the fight is on again, right? And so it's not surprising that we saw a little bit of pullback off of this center area here. Okay, so now the bulls are scouting for an hourly higher low. Anything over 55.15 will be one. The bulls will have to hold 55.15 and break to higher highs over 58.52 and over 59.46 in order to see some daily bounce follow through and have bears scouting for a potential daily top in the 65 area. I'm just going to close my window because there's a big old truck over here. Apologies for that. Okay, so NIO, very similar to Tesla. We're just watching that daily range. Workhorse. So Workhorse had this big old breakout. Let's hide this stuff. Had this big breakout out of this long time structure, and so I mean, if you look at it on the monthly chart, it's a bit of a flag-like structure, right? It's not perfect because you don't really have much downside. So if anything, maybe you consider it more of a pennant or a rectangle. But whatever the case may be, we are attempting, the bulls I should say, are attempting to break out to the upside, but not the follow through that one would want to see yet, right? So it is good that we have continued to hold the highest close, right? That's always a good look. If okay, right, I have drawings already. I don't need these drawings anymore. Yeah, I don't need new drawings. All right, so It's good look that we are holding above this highest close. This highest close here is at 30.60, and you can see we came back, tested it, and there was a nice bounce off of it. So the longer that bulls, or rather the more defense, right, that bulls can muster at the 30.60 level, then the more likely we are to see some more upside. Nice little touch off of that. So hourly trend is bearish, but this is not really the kind of momentum that a bear would want to see, right? You don't want to see a break into bounces, right? This is a break of a key support level here straight into a bounce, right? So let's see. This is enough bounce that the bulls will be anticipating an hourly higher low. Anything over 29.52 will be one. If they can hold 29.52 and break the higher highs over 34.25, then we'll see some daily bounce follow through, and that daily higher low will be have very quickly set here at 29.52. That's pretty much it. It's the blue sky bull. XPEV. All right, so came down into our zone of interest here on the daily time frame. Are we looking for a higher low? I would say so. So for me, I would say this was the last daily higher low, but being mindful that we're in a consolidation structure. So the trend changes, I don't know. I just don't value them as much. So right now, currently holding a double bottom. You could say this is like a head and shoulders look to it, right? You have this rounded top here. Well, it's not rounded, but well, half of it's rounded, right? You have a semi-rounded top here, another rounded top, and then so if we bounce from here and set a lower high under 60.04, then that opens up the potential, you know, of a head and shoulders, right? So we'll be mindful of that. But for now, hourly oversold bounce is likely underway. This zone was set up based on a confluence area, right? We are being mindful of this low here. It's also the last little lower high, or the highest close of this lower consolidation structure area. So yeah, we're just interested in it for these reasons. Okay, and of course we have broken trend here, but I believe, yes, so without the log, the trend is still good. And honestly, with this much price action, I'm not inclined to use log here. So if anything, this sure looks like it was just a failed breakthrough. All right, so let me see if I can clean this up for you guys a little bit. Well, I kind of need that. All right, so I'll hide it for now. All right, so we'll just be mindful of watching that center level. All right. So watching this hourly trend then to see if that daily low is being set. And so it's the same thing. Tesla, NIO, Workhorse, XPEV, they've all bounced enough on the hourly time frame to anticipate an hourly higher low. It's just whether or not the bulls can change the hourly trend to start seeing some daily bounce follow through. So if the bulls show up tomorrow, defend 47.76 and break the higher highs over 51.26, then the bears will be scouting a daily lower high with anything under 60.04 being one. But given the nature of this EQ and this trend line still intact, I wouldn't be surprised if we saw some higher highs and looked for that weekly lower high, if anything, over here. Ideally, we'll get daily overbought conditions. Okay. All right, plug. My goodness, this is hard to see. Alrighty here. Or plug, same thing, sideways action. I'm gonna kill this for now. I don't think we necessarily need to monitor it so much. We will be mindful of this lower end of the range. All right, so we'll be mindful. This is from way back when, so we'll definitely keep that on the chart. And I don't know if we need this one necessarily so much. So we're just sideways range as well. Bulls are scouting a daily higher low over 58.73. Potential to have it set here if they can change the hourly trend. In order to do so, they will have to hold this low of 62.99 and break the higher highs over 66.10. But again, whenever we're range bound, oh, that was a nice little whatever. But whenever we're range bound, just want to be sure to play the range, right? So we can be making plays up here, short, ideally in hourly overbought conditions, and we can be making plays down here, ideally in hourly oversold conditions. All right. So sideways range, that's it. And remember, we are in this prior. Oh, I apologize for all that zooming. We're in this prior consolidation range. So really, as long as when we're zoomed in like this, and we're watching these daily charts, we're being very mindful of what this white zone means, okay? I would not be surprised if we popped up and rejected. I would not be surprised if we held this low, okay? And I know it's a large range, but that's what price did way back when, and it can do that again. Until we start building out some volume here, we just have to keep an open mind, okay? And just remember this monthly chart, for example, right? Let me look at this thing. Right? Even if we were to pull back a little bit, come down here, or here, let me hide this like this. I'll hide it so that we don't see it. Okay. So even if we were to come down and test, it would just be a bull flag, a monthly bull flag, even if we came all the way down to 27 bucks. All right, so just a little perspective. Okay, ZAIR, I'm a little salty. I missed this move. Very nice bouncer, and it's just kind of stair stepping up, right? We're making a big bulls are making a big push up, back testing this prior highs. I have these highs marked off of here. This one penetrated a bit, but whatever the case, that they get tested. They're not always perfect tests. Okay, that's why I always like to include a fill above, a fill below my zones, and the stop a little bit looser. All right. Okay, so nice bounce on the daily. Inside bar still. Hourly trend has likely... Where's my channel? Where is my channel? There we go. Okay, so we are watching this channel as well. 21 EMA held in conjunction with this back test of this area. You know, I love those trades. You know, it's like, you know, how much more can you ask for, right? If you're looking for a daily higher low, so that's the context that you want to see. You're looking for a daily higher low, and you get hourly oversold conditions, which you did get here, right? Hourly oversold conditions. Hold on 1 second here. It was oversold at the low. Yeah, it was oversold at the low for sure, especially on this candle. This one, right? So it closed over here. Right, so at the low of that wick, for sure, it was kissing 30. Same thing for this candle. So you have the hourly extension. You have the context of knowing you're looking for a daily higher low, and you also have this channel support, this trend line, right? We just call it a trend line, right? You have the 21 EMA. You have the back test of these prior highs. There's really not much more you could ask for at least a little bit of a bounce, right? So now, if you are in this trade, and you should have gotten at least one fill if you played it exactly like this. Then you have one fill that has bounced quite a bit, and so you can sell as much as you want to protect the rest that you leave down here. And you don't even have to sell half, because, you know, even for a break-even stop, you can sell much less because there's been so much bounce from your fill, right? You can sell like a quarter of it and protect this stop loss down here. You get stopped out, and it's no big deal. Okay. So we're watching this hourly trend. It was a double bottom into a bounce. Anything over 61 cents tomorrow will be an hourly higher low. If that bulls can defend 61 cents and break the higher highs over 75 cents, they'll change that hourly trend, set that daily higher low, and they will be looking at all-time highs. I'm so salty about missing this. Alrighty then, that about covers it. Thanks for tuning in, and I will see you all soon.